All right, guys. So, looking at Zaretsky, one of the a very famous Marxist. Okay, as always, take note of what perspective he's coming from. This is Eli Zaretsky, so it's a guy, but he's a very strong Marxist. Okay, so try and recall the sort of the general theories of Marxists, and this should start to make a bit more sense. Okay, so. I'm going to go straight to my sort of little summary at the bottom. I mean, there are some very key points noted in here, but it is a bit wordy. Okay, so that might be why you've come to this video because it is a little bit, sort of, as I say, wordy and a bit complicated. So I'm going to do my best to try and explain it to you now. So basically, Zaretsky argues that there's actually no such thing as a private life. Okay, we think that there is, but no matter what, okay, we're still very much linked in and committed to the economy, okay, and therefore serving the bourgeoisie or the ruling class. Okay, he argues that the family basically creates this false belief that we have a private life, okay, and in so doing, we keep capitalism going. Okay, so we basically are helping the bourgeoisie, the ruling class, to stay in that position. Okay, and the family keeps it that way. Okay, stay with me. It does start to make more sense. Okay, he notes how society alienates people. Okay, now just to clarify, alienates, okay, is to make someone feel sort of separate to or in some way isolated from everyone else. Okay, so he argues that capitalist society alienates people. This is down to the fact that the ruling class create jobs and practices within society that sort of limit the amount of creativity and freedom that we have. Okay. This sort of alienation is one of the strains that people experience, which the family helps soften the effects of. Okay, so try and think back to Parsons. Okay, he talked about the warm bath theory. Okay, this is very much in the same line as that, but looking at it from a slightly more negative perspective. Okay, equally, the family also helps keep capitalism going, sort of just by being a unit of consumption. Okay, they're literally giving the bourgeoisie money for products that keep us alive. So every time we go out and buy, I don't know, the latest iPhone, or you're bought that for Christmas by your family, which is more likely at this point, okay, they buy you food, they buy you pretty much everything, okay, everything you need to be a member of society. Okay, but by doing that, the family is actually keeping, well, for example, with the iPhone, it's keeping the executives at Apple very rich. Okay, Zaretsky would argue that they are part of the bourgeoisie. Okay, and so they argue, Zaretsky argues, I should say, that basically just by buying things, we do keep capitalism going. Okay, and therefore keep the bourgeoisie in power. Okay, equally, this theory does make sense because it does release stress. Okay, much like Parsons says, Zaretsky does argue that this is for the ruling class's benefit rather than society as a whole, as functionalists would say. Okay, he argues that by relieving that stress, it means that workers can go out and work again to keep the bourgeoisie going. Okay, they come home all stressed up because of all this alienation and all this hard work that the bourgeoisie are making them do. Okay, but it means that the next day, after they've been refreshed, they can go out and work again. Okay, I'm very aware screencastifys don't last very long, so in part two, I'll cover the negatives. Okay.